We'll go to shloka number 70. I'll repeat the shloka, go to the individual meanings, and then we will see the explanation. Avinashi tu tad viddihi yena sarvamidam tatam vinashamavyayasyasya na kaschid kartumarhati. Avinashi. Avinashi means imperishable. Tu tat viddi. Tu means but, we can ignore that. Tat is that. Viddi. Know it. Know that imperishable. That's what is the meaning. Yena means by whom. Sarvam is everything. Idam is this. Tatam is pervaded. Know that imperishable by whom all this is pervaded. So avyayasya is avyayasya plus asya. Asya is of the imperishable, asya is of it. So it becomes of the imperishable. Na kaschid, no one. Kartum arhati. Kartum is to do and arhati is able to. So what is he saying here? That which pervades this entire body and this entire universe, everything, you should know that it is indestructible. No one is able to destroy this imperishable thing. So this Atma, he's talking about the Atma here, and he says that it pervades everything and it is imperishable. So 2 points are being taught here. So we will see in the Atma column, you will write Atma is Sarvagataha. That means Atma is all pervasive. In the Anatma column, you will write Alpagataha. Anatma exists only in one place. Like our body can exist only in one place. But one more point here about the Atma and Anatma. Atma is imperishable and Anatma is Vinashi. It is perishable. So 2 points. Sarvagataha, Alpagataha, Atma column, Anatma column, Avinashi and Vinashi. So what does it mean here? He says that the Atma pervades everything. So through this we have some derivations from that. If this Atma pervades everything, then we can easily say that this Atma is Ekaha. It is one. Because if you have two things, A and B, where B is there, A cannot exist. Where A is there, B cannot exist. So it has to be only one entity. So it is one. Atma is one and Atma is all pervading. And also Atma doesn't have any parts. Like it is not made up of parts. Like we all have parts like arms, legs. So one perishing of one can lead to the perishing of the entire body. But this Atma is because one whole entity without any parts, it is also said to be imperishable. So this is the meaning of this shloka. So the next shloka, 18. Antavantai me deha nityasyokta sharirinaha anashino prameyasya tasmadyudyasva bharata. Antavantaha means there is it is perishable. There is an end. Ime dehaha. To what ime? All these. Dehaha. The bodies. We saw that deha was the body and dehi is embodied. So he's talking about the plural of the deha, which is the bodies. These material bodies. These material bodies are perishable. That's what he says in the first line. Nityasya. Nityasya means eternal in existence. Yuktaha. It is said. So he is saying that it is said somewhere. Now he will quote from the Upanishads in the next slokas. It is said that this is eternal. Sharirinaha. Of the embodied. The embodied, that is the one inside the body, is eternal. The Atma is eternal. Anashinaha means never to be destroyed. Aprameyasya means it is immeasurable. That is, it cannot be known by senses, nor it can be told by words. So the question will come, if it cannot be told by words and we cannot use the senses to know it, what are we doing here? We are only talking, right? The scriptures are saying we are pointing you in the right direction. We are telling you that what it is not. So you will know what is there. And also by describing how it is and what are the qualities of it, you start to think about it more and more. So that is what is the reason behind the teachings in all these scriptures. Tasmat is therefore, Yudhyasva is fight, Bharata is son of Bharata. So Yudhyasva is not for Arjuna Yudhyasva, but Yudhyasva is translated as Swadharmam Kuru. So wherever Yudhyasva comes, do your duty is the translation. The material body is destructible. Atma is immeasurable and it is beyond any comprehension, or it is immeasurable. So the material bodies are destructible, the Atma is indestructible, and it is immeasurable. That is the general translation of this. So in the Atma column, it is Kutastha Nitya. It means unchanging always. It never changes. It just remains the same. So, and in the Anatma column, it is Pravaha Nitya. It changes daily. Pravaha means it keeps, like you keep observing the river. The river appears as though it is the same, but the water is always different every moment. So it is flowing. And therefore, this Anatma keeps changing every day. So one more thing also has been said there, Atma column, Aprameya. It is immeasurable. It cannot be perceived by the senses. And Prameya is the Anatma column, which can be measured. So everything you can measure. Body you can sit and measure it. Other objects you are able to take a tape and measure it. But the Atma you cannot measure. Yayenam veti hantaram Yaschainam manyate hatam Ubau tau na vijanitaha Nayam hanti na hanyate. So this shloka is taken from Kathopanishad. Kathopanishad is the dialogue between Nachiketas and Yama. So the story of Nachiketas is that Nachiketas is the son of Vajasravas. What Vajasravas was doing, he was doing a sacrifice to get good gati, to go to heaven. So at the end of the sacrifice, he has to give, it is called Sarva Dakshina. That means whatever he has to give it away in charity. So Vajasravas was giving away whatever he had. He was only a poor Brahmin, so he was giving away his old cows, whatever things he had, he was giving away. But Nachiketas, he felt, my dad will not get the proper palan of this, the fruits of this. Why is he giving old cows away? He must give something nice, like me. So he went and started pestering his dad. He said, Dad, you are giving away all these things, but to whom? I am also belonging to you. To whom are you going to give me? To which God are you going to give me? It is not written anywhere that the son must be given away, but he kept pestering his dad. So his father got angry and he just said, I will give you to Yama, in just a fit of anger. So in reality, in those days, when they say things, it really happens. So Nachiketas goes to the abode of Yama. When he goes there, Yama is not there. He is on his tour. So he waits for 3 days. And then Yama comes back and he feels very bad that this boy has been waiting outside. And so he says, you have been so patient. Let me grant you 3 boons. Ask me. So the first boon, he says, when I go back, my father should be happy with me because I annoyed him also. So he should accept me very happily and he should be happy. Then Yama said, granted. And the second thing he asked for is, we will perform some people, like I said, the Mimamsa tradition is rituals. So they will perform some rituals to go to heaven. So he said, I want to teach this to those who want this. So please teach me the fire ritual for people to go to heaven so I can teach others. And Yama says, gladly I will teach you. Third boon, he says, what do you want? He says, Nachiketa says, I want to know what happens after death. I want to know the nature of the true existence. So Yama says, this is not for you. All the gods, so many people, they can't understand this truth. How can you, small boy, understand this truth? No, no, no. I will give you kingdom. I will give you long life, I will give you riches, take that and be happy. But Nachiketas is determined. He says, no, that is of no use to me. I want to know this truth. And I know that I have a great teacher, which is you yourself, Yama, who knows the reality of existence. So please teach me. So Yama begins to talk to Nachiketas about the truth of existence, which is what is captured in the Kathopanishad. So the same shloka, what we have here, it is there in the Upanishad. The first line only they change. So same meaning. This is actually mantra. In Upanishad, when it comes, it is called mantra. So ya means anyone who, ena, this. Actually, this self, veti hantara. Veti means knows, hantara means the killer. So what does it mean? Anyone who knows the self as the killer, yacha enam manyate hatam. Again, ya is anyone who, cha is also, enam is the self, manyate, things, hatam, killed. So anyone who knows the self as the killer, or anyone who knows the self as the killed, what about that? Ubau tau na vijanitaha. Ubau both, tau they, na never, vijanitaha are in knowledge. So they are in ignorance. The person who thinks that the self is the killer, or the person who thinks that the self is being killed, is not in true knowledge. They are ignorant. Na ayam hanti na hanyate. Na is never, ayam is this. It cannot be hanti, kills, nor hanyate, is killed. So what is the general translation? Neither the one who thinks that the self is the killer, nor the one who thinks the self is being killed. Both are not in true knowledge, because the self neither slays nor is it slain. It is the Atma column. We will write Akarta, which is the non-doer, and Abhokta, which is the non-enjoyer. For Anatma, Karta, doer. Bhokta, which is the enjoyer. Shloka number 20, also very, very important. Again from the Kathopanishad. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit na ayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyah ajo nityashashvatoyam puranah na hanyate hanyamane sharire. So what is talked about is in the Atma column, Shad Vikara Rahitaha. Shat is 6. Here it becomes Shad because the next word is Vikara. So rules of combining, it becomes Shad Vikara. Vikara means change. Rahitaha means devoid of. The Atma is devoid of the 6 changes that we are going to see. I will give you the 6 changes after we go through the meanings or individual meanings. Anatma column, you have Shat Vikara Sahitaha. That means it supports all these changes. It helps with all the, it is having all these changes. So individual meaning is Na is never. Jayate means takes birth. So we are talking about the Atma here. So the Atma does not take birth. Mriyate dies. It does not die either. Va either. Kadachit at any time. Meaning past, present or future. So na never, ayam is this Atma. So this na you have to use for 2 words, bhutva and bhavita. Bhutva means having come into being, and bhavita is will come into being. It will never having to come into being, and it is never coming into being in the future and in the past. So that never is there for both. Va or not. So nor. Bhuyah. So bhuyah means again coming into being. So one cycle is completed. Like for us, there is death. Then again there is birth. Then again there is death. Then again we have to come into being. So that is not there for the Atma. Then he goes on to describe Ajo Nityaha Shashvatoyam Puranu. That means it's made of 4 words. Ajaha, which is unborn. So Atma is not born. Nityaha, it is eternal. Shashvataha, it is permanent. Ayam, again this. Puranaha. Puranaha means it's evergreen. It doesn't change. Na means never. Again, hanyate, is it killed? Hanyamane, or is it being killed? Sharire. So why Krishna is always talking about killing and being killed? That doubt might come. So in the previous shloka, I should have said he is just taking an event for an example. So when he said in the last shloka that the Atma is not the killer or it's not being killed, what is going on in this battlefield? The killing. So when he talked about Akarta Bhokta, it is not the killing itself. It is he's talking about one event. We just have to substitute it as an event. So when he says that the Hanyate, na Hanyate Hanyamani, it is not killed, it is not being killed. But in this instant, he talks about the Atma being killed and not being killed. But generally, in the previous shloka, what he was talking about was the event itself. So what is the general translation of this? For the Atma, there is neither birth nor death. Atma does not have to come into being, and it does not come into being in the future, nor does it have to again come into being. The Atma is unborn, eternal, ever existing, and evergreen. It is not slain when the body is slain. Okay, the Atma is never killed. Body is being killed. So Shadvikara Rahitaha means devoid of. So we are going to see the opposites here. Okay, the Atma has the opposite of all the qualities we are going to talk about. So what is this Shadvikara Rahitaha? First is Asti, existence. That means what? We talked about, right? That it has to come into being, it will again come into being, that kind of existence. That is having to again come into being, that kind of existence is Asti. Asti Ayate is birth. So if you are coming into existence means you are being born. So which is also similar to this, which is also a vikara or a change. The third is Vardate. Vardate means growth. Whenever you see there is growth, that means you know that this is not the eternal thing. This is for us to analyze. Basically, you observe something. Is it growing? Okay. Then it's going to die. It's come into existence. It will grow and it will die. Fourth one is Viparinamate. Viparinamate means change. There is a change. Something happens to it. Apakshiyate. The fifth one is Apakshiyate, which means diminish. And sixth is Vinashyanti, which means destroyer. All these six changes are there for the Anatma. So that is why we say in the Anatma column, Shad Vikara Sahitaha. Sahita meaning supporting all these changes. So 21. Veda Vinashinam Nityam Yayenam Ajamavyayam Katham Sapurusha Partha Kam Ghatayati Hantikam. Now he starts to talk about the Jnani. Instead of talking about the Atma, in this sloka, he is referring to the Jnani. Veda, that means the Jnani, one who knows. Avinasham is indestructible. Nityam, always existing. Veda Vinashinam Nityam. So Veda, don't read it as Veda Vinashinam. It's Veda Avinashinam. So it is indestructible. Veda Avinashinam Nityam. Yayenam Ajamavyayam. So he is describing the qualities. One who, enam, this, ajam, it is unborn, and avyayam, immutable. The one who knows this to be indestructible, immutable, unborn, katham, how? How means he is not asking as a question. It is like an objection he is raising. How can you say this? It's an objection, right? So how? Sa, this, sa, that, Purusha is that person, Partha, he is referring to Arjuna here, Kamghayati Hantikam. So how can he? Ghatayati is to cause hurt. Hanti is to kill. So he is saying that this person who is a Jnani, how can he kill or how can he cause the hurt, even cause it. We saw that akarta, right? We call jnani will be akarta. Because if the atma is akarta, the one who knows about the atma, jnani, becomes the akarta. He is a non-doer. He goes one step to say that he is not only the akarta, he is also not the hetukarta. Hetukarta meaning he is not even the cause for it. He is akarayita. So what do we mean by that? There is a student and a teacher. The student is learning. He is a karta. The teacher is a hetukarta. He instigates the student to learn. So he will be the person who instigates. That means the hetukarta. So neither is the jnani who knows about the atma, the doer. He is not even the one who causes anything to be done. That is the substance here. So the general translation is, O Arjuna, how can a person who knows this Atma, who knows that this Atma is indestructible, eternal, unborn, and immutable, kill anyone or cause anyone to kill? That means in the Atma column, we have to say Akarayita, and in the Anatma column, it is Karayita. Akarayita means he doesn't even cause anything to be done.
Thank you.
Sarvam Krishna Arpanam.